Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome. I want you to know that your presence here today is no accident. There's something stirring within you, isn't there? A gentle calling that whispers of possibility, of change, of a life that feels more aligned with who you truly are. Perhaps you've been carrying burdens that feel too heavy, or experiencing challenges that seem to repeat themselves in endless cycles. Maybe you've tried so many things, yet that deep sense of fulfillment, that radiant health, that abundant life, that genuine happiness still feels just out of reach. I understand this feeling completely because I've walked this path myself, and I've had the privilege of witnessing thousands of people transform their lives by learning one simple truth. The words we speak to ourselves every single day are creating our reality moment by moment. Today, we're going to explore something that will change everything for you: the incredible power of conscious, loving communication with yourself. You see, most of us were never taught that our thoughts and words are actually creative forces. We weren't shown that the conversations we have in our minds, the things we tell ourselves when we wake up, the phrases we repeat throughout our days, are literally building the foundation of our health, our wealth, and our happiness. But this is one of the most beautiful secrets of life. When we change our inner dialogue, we change our entire experience. Right now, as you listen to these words, I want you to place your hand gently over your heart. Feel the steady, faithful rhythm of this magnificent organ that has been beating for you since the moment you were conceived. This heart of yours doesn't judge you, doesn't criticize you, doesn't tell you that you're not enough. It simply loves you unconditionally, working tirelessly to support your life. This is the energy we're going to cultivate together, this same unconditional love, but directed toward every aspect of your being through the words you choose to speak to yourself. The journey we're taking together isn't about perfection or pretending that life doesn't have its challenges. It's about discovering that within you lies an incredible capacity for healing, for creating abundance, and for experiencing joy that doesn't depend on external circumstances. When we learn to speak to ourselves with the same compassion we would offer a beloved friend, when we choose words that nurture rather than criticize, when we align our daily language with love rather than fear, miracles begin to unfold naturally. Today, you're going to learn specific words and phrases that, when spoken with genuine feeling and consistent practice, will begin to shift the very fabric of your reality. These aren't just positive thoughts or wishful thinking. They're powerful tools that work with the natural laws of the universe to create positive change in your body, your finances, and your emotional well-being. Your willingness to be here, to listen, to consider that perhaps there's a gentler, more loving way to live, tells me that you're ready for this transformation. You're ready to release the old patterns that have been limiting you and step into a new way of being that honors the magnificent person you truly are. Now let's begin to understand how the words we speak to ourselves each day are shaping our lives in ways we might never have realized. Every thought you think, every word you speak to yourself is like planting a seed in the garden of your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind doesn't judge these seeds. It simply takes whatever you give it and works faithfully to grow those thoughts into your lived experience. Most of us inherited our patterns of self-talk from the people around us as we grew up. We learned to speak to ourselves the way others spoke to us, or the way we heard adults speaking to themselves. If criticism was common in your early environment, you might have learned to be your own harshest critic. If worry and fear were prevalent, you might have developed an inner voice that constantly anticipates problems. If scarcity was a theme, you might find yourself thinking thoughts that reinforce limitation rather than abundance. But here's the beautiful truth that changes everything. These patterns were learned, which means they can be unlearned. The neural pathways in your brain that have been reinforcing old, limiting thoughts can be gently rewired with new, loving thoughts. This isn't about forcing yourself to think differently or fighting against negative thoughts. It's about choosing, moment by moment, to speak to yourself with kindness, respect, and love. Your body is constantly listening to the conversations in your mind. When you think thoughts of appreciation and love, your body responds by releasing chemicals that promote healing and well-being. When you speak words of abundance and gratitude, your nervous system relaxes, your immune system strengthens, and your natural capacity for joy expands. Conversely, when your inner dialogue is filled with criticism, worry, or scarcity thinking, your body responds as if it's under threat, triggering stress responses that can impact everything from your digestion to your sleep to your ability to think clearly. The fascinating thing is that your subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between what's actually happening and what you're thinking about. When you repeatedly tell yourself loving, affirming thoughts, your subconscious begins to seek evidence to support these new beliefs. It starts to notice opportunities you might have missed before, to attract circumstances that align with your new thinking, and to guide you toward choices that support your highest good. This is why the words you speak to yourself every day are so incredibly important. They're not just fleeting thoughts, they're instructions to your subconscious mind about what kind of life you want to create. When you consciously choose words that support health, wealth, and happiness, you're literally programming yourself for success in these areas. The mind-body connection is one of the most powerful forces we can work with for healing and transformation. Every cell in your body is constantly receiving information from your thoughts and emotions. When you speak words of love and appreciation to your body, you're sending healing energy directly to your cells. When you acknowledge your body's wisdom and strength, you're supporting its natural ability to maintain health and vitality. Your physical body is always in the present moment, always working to support you, always doing its best with the resources and information it has. When you begin each day by speaking kindly to your body, when you thank it for its service, when you send it messages of love and appreciation, you're creating an internal environment where healing can flourish. So many people struggle with their health because they've developed a habit of criticizing their bodies, focusing on what's wrong, or speaking to themselves in ways they would never speak to someone they love. But your body is your most faithful companion in this life. It deserves your respect, your kindness, and your cooperation. When you say loving words to your body, you're not just being nice, you're actually supporting your immune system, improving your digestion, enhancing your sleep, and increasing your energy levels. Your body responds to love just like a garden responds to sunshine and water. The more consistently you speak to your body with appreciation and kindness, the more it can relax into its natural state of health and vitality. Think about the different areas of your body that might need extra love and attention. Perhaps your heart needs to hear that it's safe to be open and loving. Maybe your digestive system needs to know that it's perfectly capable of processing nutrients efficiently. Your nervous system might benefit from hearing that it's safe to relax and trust that all is well. Your muscles and joints might appreciate acknowledgement of their strength and flexibility. The words you choose to speak about your health, both to yourself and to others, are constantly programming your subconscious mind for either wellness or illness. When you catch yourself focusing on symptoms or problems, you can gently redirect your attention to what's working well in your body, to your body's incredible capacity for healing, and to your gratitude for all the ways your body serves you every single day. This isn't about denying challenges or pretending that health issues don't exist. It's about choosing to focus your mental energy on supporting your body's natural healing processes rather than reinforcing patterns of illness or limitation. Your body is always listening to your thoughts, always responding to your words, always working to align with the messages you're sending. When you make the conscious choice to speak to your body with love, respect, and appreciation, you're giving it the best possible environment in which to heal, thrive, and serve you well. Your relationship with money and abundance is deeply connected to the words you speak about prosperity, success, and your own worthiness to receive good things in life. Most of us grew up hearing messages about money that were rooted in struggle, limitation, or the belief that wanting more was somehow selfish or wrong. These early messages became the foundation of our financial reality, creating invisible barriers to the abundance that is actually our natural birthright. When you examine the thoughts you think about money throughout your day, you might notice patterns that sound something like, "I can't afford that," or "money is so hard to come by," or "rich people are greedy," or "I'm just not good with money." These seemingly innocent thoughts are actually powerful instructions to your subconscious mind to maintain your current level of financial limitation. Your subconscious mind hears these words and works diligently to prove them true, filtering out opportunities, causing you to overlook possibilities, and attracting circumstances that reinforce scarcity. But abundance is not about the amount of money in your bank account. It's a consciousness, a way of thinking and being that recognizes the infinite nature of the universe's supply. When you begin to speak words of abundance, when you train your mind to focus on prosperity consciousness, when you choose thoughts that align with wealth and success, you're literally rewiring your brain to notice and attract opportunities for financial growth. The universe operates from a place of infinite abundance. Look around you at nature, the countless leaves on trees, the grains of sand on beaches, the stars in the sky. Abundance is the natural order of things, and you are part of this abundant universe. Your willingness to receive good things, to prosper, to have more than enough, is actually supporting the flow of abundance for everyone. When you prosper, you contribute to the prosperity of others. When you're financially secure, you can be more generous, more creative, more of service to the world. The words you speak about money every day are either opening doors to greater prosperity or reinforcing walls that keep abundance away. When you say things like, "I am worthy of financial abundance," you're sending a clear message to your subconscious that you're ready to receive good things. When you speak words like "money flows to me easily and frequently," you're programming your mind to notice the many ways money can come into your life. When you declare, "I am grateful for all the abundance already present in my life," you're creating a vibration that attracts even more to be grateful for. This isn't about becoming materialistic or greedy. True abundance consciousness recognizes that money is simply energy, a tool that can be used to create beauty, to help others, to experience life more fully, and to contribute to the world in meaningful ways. When you heal your relationship with money, when you release the guilt and fear around wanting financial security, when you embrace your right to prosper, you're freeing yourself to be more of who you truly are. Your daily money conversations with yourself might include acknowledging the abundance that's already present in your life, the roof over your head, the food in your kitchen, the clothes in your closet, the technology that connects you to the world. Gratitude for what you already have creates space for even more good to come into your experience. You might also speak words that affirm your ability to earn, save, and invest wisely. Your subconscious mind wants to support you in creating financial security, but it needs clear, positive direction from your conscious thoughts. Notice how your body feels when you speak words of abundance versus words of scarcity. When you say, I have plenty, notice the expansion in your chest, the relaxation in your shoulders, the sense of possibility that opens up. When you catch yourself thinking scarce thoughts, gently redirect to thoughts of abundance and notice how your entire energy shifts. Your body knows the difference between scarcity consciousness and abundance consciousness, and it responds accordingly. The beautiful truth about creating wealth is that it begins in your mind long before it appears in your external circumstances. Every person who has created significant wealth first had to develop wealth consciousness, the inner knowing that they deserved prosperity, that opportunities were available to them, that they had valuable gifts to offer the world. This consciousness is available to you right now, regardless of your current financial situation. It's cultivated through the daily choice to speak words that align with abundance rather than limitation. Just as your body responds to loving words with improved health, your entire life responds to abundant thinking with increased prosperity. Your creativity expands when you're not worried about money. Your relationships improve when financial stress isn't constantly present. Your ability to serve others grows when you're not concerned about your own security. Speaking words of abundance daily is an investment in every area of your life, not just your bank account. Happiness, like health and wealth, is not something that happens to you. It's something you consciously create through the words you speak to yourself every single day. Most people believe that happiness depends on external circumstances, that they'll be happy when they get the right job, find the right relationship, achieve a certain goal, or solve a particular problem. But true happiness, lasting happiness, comes from the daily decision to speak to yourself with kindness, to focus your attention on what's working in your life, and to cultivate an inner environment of peace and contentment regardless of what's happening around you. Your happiness is far too precious to leave to chance or to depend on things beyond your control. When you take responsibility for your own emotional well-being, when you choose words that nurture joy rather than reinforce sadness, when you consciously direct your thoughts toward appreciation rather than complaint, you're exercising one of your greatest powers as a human being, the power to choose your response to life. The conversations you have with yourself throughout the day are constantly influencing your emotional state. When you wake up and immediately begin thinking about everything that could go wrong, everything you have to worry about, everything that's not working in your life, you're programming yourself for a day filled with stress and discontent. But when you begin your day by acknowledging something you're grateful for, by speaking words of encouragement to yourself, by setting an intention to look for beauty and goodness throughout your day, you're creating the foundation for genuine happiness. Happiness isn't about pretending that challenges don't exist or forcing yourself to be cheerful when you're genuinely sad or upset. True happiness is about developing the inner stability that allows you to experience all of life's emotions without being overwhelmed by them. It's about knowing that regardless of what temporary circumstances you're facing, your essential nature is peaceful, loving, and joyful. The words you speak to yourself during difficult times are especially important. When you're facing challenges, your subconscious mind is looking for guidance about how to interpret and respond to these situations. If your inner dialogue becomes focused on how awful things are, how unfair life is, or how you can't handle what you're going through, you're actually making the situation more difficult for yourself. But when you speak words of encouragement, when you remind yourself of your strength and resilience, when you affirm that this too shall pass, and that you're learning and growing through every experience, you're supporting yourself in moving through challenges with greater ease and grace. Joy is your natural state. Before you learned to worry, before you developed habits of negative thinking, before you absorbed limiting beliefs from the world around you, your essential nature was joyful, curious, and loving. That joyful essence is still within you, waiting to be acknowledged and expressed. When you speak words that connect you with this inner joy, when you choose thoughts that make you smile, when you consciously look for reasons to feel good about your life, you're returning to your true nature. The daily practice of happiness involves catching yourself when your thoughts drift toward complaint, criticism, or worry, and gently redirecting toward thoughts that feel better. This isn't about denying problems or avoiding necessary action, but about maintaining your emotional equilibrium so you can respond to life from a place of wisdom rather than react from a place of fear or frustration. Your happiness impacts everyone around you. When you're genuinely content, when your inner dialogue is peaceful and loving, when you're experiencing joy from the inside out, you become a gift to everyone you encounter. Your positive energy is contagious, your problems seem more manageable, and your capacity to love and serve others expands naturally. The words you speak about your life, about your future, about your possibilities, are constantly creating your emotional reality. When you say things like, "Life is good," "I am blessed," "Good things are always happening to me," you're training your mind to notice evidence that supports these statements. Your brain will actually begin to filter information differently, highlighting the positive aspects of your experience while allowing negative details to fade into the background. The practice of cultivating happiness through conscious self-talk becomes easier and more natural the more you do it. Like any new habit, it requires patience and consistency at first, but eventually it becomes your automatic way of thinking. You begin to naturally look for things to appreciate, to speak to yourself with kindness, to maintain an underlying current of contentment, regardless of external circumstances. Your morning moments set the tone for your entire day, and they offer you the most powerful opportunity to consciously choose the energy and intention you want to carry with you. The first thoughts you think, the first words you speak to yourself, the first feelings you cultivate when you wake up are like seeds that will grow throughout your day. When you begin each morning with conscious, loving communication with yourself, you're literally programming your subconscious mind for a day filled with health, abundance, and joy. Most people wake up and immediately begin thinking about their problems, their responsibilities, their worries about the day ahead. They check their phones and fill their minds with other people's thoughts and energy before they've even connected with their own inner wisdom. But when you create a sacred morning practice, when you give yourself the gift of beginning each day with intention and love, you're taking control of your life experience in the most fundamental way. Your morning ritual doesn't need to be long or complicated. Even 5 minutes of conscious, loving self-talk can transform your entire day. The key is consistency and authenticity. Speaking words that genuinely resonate with you, that feel true and supportive, that connect you with your highest intentions for your life. When you first wake up, before you get out of bed, before you check your phone, before you begin thinking about your to-do list, place your hand on your heart and take 3 deep breaths. Feel the miracle of your body, the gift of another day, the infinite possibilities that await you. Speak words of gratitude for your life, for your body, for the people you love, for the opportunities ahead of you. Your morning words might include appreciation for your physical health, acknowledging your body's strength and wisdom, expressing gratitude for your home, your family, your work, or simply for being alive. You might speak words of intention about how you want to show up in the world that day, with kindness, with confidence, with creativity, with love. You might affirm your readiness to receive good things, to handle whatever challenges arise with grace, to be of service to others. The practice of morning mirror work can be especially powerful. Looking into your own eyes in the mirror and speaking words of love and encouragement to yourself sends a direct message to your subconscious mind that you are worthy of love, care, and respect. You might say things like, "Good morning, beautiful. I love you. You are enough exactly as you are. Today is going to be a wonderful day." At first, this might feel awkward or even silly, but with practice, it becomes one of the most nurturing gifts you can give yourself. Your morning practice is also an opportunity to set clear intentions for your health, your relationships, your work, and your personal growth. When you consciously choose how you want to feel, how you want to respond to challenges, how you want to treat yourself and others, you're giving your subconscious mind a clear blueprint for creating that experience. This morning foundation supports you throughout your entire day. When you encounter stress, conflict, or unexpected challenges, you can return to the loving energy you cultivated in the morning. When you need to make decisions, you can connect with the intentions you set. When you feel overwhelmed, you can remember the words of encouragement you spoke to yourself and know that you have everything within you to handle whatever arises. The middle of your day often brings its own unique challenges and opportunities. This is when the demands of daily life can pull you away from the loving intentions you set in the morning. Work pressures mount, unexpected situations arise, interactions with others might trigger old patterns, and it's easy to slip back into automatic thinking that doesn't serve your highest good. But this is precisely when your conscious self-talk becomes most valuable. Not just when everything is going smoothly, but especially when life feels overwhelming or stressful. Your midday moments offer you countless opportunities to reset your energy, to reconnect with your loving intentions, and to choose words that support your well-being rather than drain it. You don't need to retreat to a quiet room or spend long periods in meditation. Some of the most powerful practices can be done in just a few minutes, right in the middle of whatever you're doing. When you notice stress building in your body, when you feel your shoulders tensing or your breathing becoming shallow, this is your internal wisdom alerting you that it's time for a loving reset. You can pause, place your hand on your heart, and speak gentle words to yourself like, "I am safe, I am capable, I can handle whatever comes my way with grace and ease." These simple words, spoken with genuine feeling, can immediately shift your nervous system from stress response back to calm awareness. Your breath is one of your most powerful tools for maintaining positive energy throughout the day. When you consciously breathe while speaking loving words to yourself, you're sending calming signals directly to your nervous system. You might take 3 deep breaths while silently saying, "I breathe in peace, I breathe out tension, I breathe in love, I breathe out worry, I breathe in confidence, I breathe out fear." This simple practice can be done anywhere. At your desk, in your car, while waiting in line, during any transition in your day. The conversations you have with others throughout the day also provide opportunities to practice loving self-talk. Before difficult conversations, you can silently affirm your ability to communicate clearly and kindly. After challenging interactions, you can speak words of compassion to yourself, acknowledging that you did your best and releasing any need to replay the situation over and over in your mind. When someone says something that triggers an emotional response, you can remind yourself that their words reflect their own inner state, not your worth or value. Your workplace environment, whether that's an office, your home, or somewhere else entirely, can become a space for practicing conscious self-talk. When faced with deadlines, you can speak words that affirm your ability to prioritize effectively and work efficiently. When dealing with difficult colleagues or clients, you can remind yourself that you have the wisdom to respond rather than react. When feeling overwhelmed by your workload, you can acknowledge your capabilities while also honoring your human need for balance and rest. The key to maintaining your energy throughout the day is learning to catch yourself when your inner dialogue starts moving in directions that drain your vitality. Notice when you begin thinking thoughts like, "This is too much, I can't handle this," everything is going wrong, or why does this always happen to me? These thoughts aren't serving you, and they're certainly not supporting your health, wealth, or happiness. When you catch these patterns, you can gently redirect with words like, I am learning to handle challenges with greater ease. I trust my ability to find solutions, or this situation is helping me grow stronger and wiser. Your midday practice might also include moments of gratitude that help you maintain perspective on what's actually going well in your life. Even during challenging days, you can find small things to appreciate. The person who smiled at you, the lunch that nourished your body, the technology that helps you connect with others, the fact that you have meaningful work to do. These moments of appreciation don't deny your challenges, but they prevent you from becoming so focused on problems that you lose sight of the abundance and beauty that's always present. Remember that your energy is precious and you have the right to protect it through conscious choices about what you think and say to yourself. You don't have to absorb the stress, negativity, or urgency of everyone around you. You can maintain your center, your peace, your loving perspective, even in the midst of external chaos. This isn't about being detached or uncaring. It's about being so grounded in love and wisdom that you can be truly helpful to others without sacrificing your own well-being. As your day comes to a close, you have a beautiful opportunity to complete the circle of loving self-care that you began in the morning. Your evening hours are precious time for reflection, gratitude, and preparation for restorative sleep. Just as your morning thoughts set the tone for your day, your evening thoughts influence the quality of your sleep and your subconscious processing throughout the night. Many people end their days by reviewing everything that went wrong, worrying about tomorrow's challenges, or filling their minds with stimulating entertainment that keeps their nervous systems activated. But when you create a gentle evening practice of gratitude and release, you're giving your body and mind the message that it's safe to rest, that the day was meaningful, and that you trust in the goodness that tomorrow will bring. Your evening reflection doesn't need to be perfect or profound. It's simply an opportunity to acknowledge yourself for showing up to your life, to appreciate the experiences you had, and to release anything that no longer serves you. You might sit quietly for a few minutes and think about 3 things you're grateful for from your day. These might be big things like a promotion at work, or small things like a beautiful sunset you noticed. The size doesn't matter. What matters is the feeling of appreciation that connects you with the abundance that's always present in your life. This is also a time to practice forgiveness, both for yourself and for others. If you said or did something during the day that you regret, you can speak words of compassion to yourself, acknowledging that you're human and you're learning. You might say something like, I forgive myself for any mistakes I made today. I did the best I could with the awareness I had. Tomorrow I can choose differently. This practice prevents guilt and regret from accumulating in your subconscious mind and interfering with your sleep. Similarly, if someone else's words or actions hurt you during the day, your evening practice can include releasing that hurt so it doesn't continue to impact your well-being. This doesn't mean you have to agree with what they did or excuse harmful behavior, but you can free yourself from carrying their negative energy into your rest time. You might say, I release any hurt or anger from today. I send love to everyone I encountered, and I trust that we're all doing our best to learn and grow. Your body has been faithfully serving you throughout the entire day, and your evening practice can include words of appreciation for all the ways your physical self supported you. You might thank your feet for carrying you, your hands for all they accomplished, your heart for beating steadily, your mind for processing information and making decisions. This appreciation helps your body relax into sleep, knowing that it's valued and cared for. Your evening is also an ideal time to plant positive seeds in your subconscious mind for overnight processing. As you prepare for sleep, you can speak words about your intentions for tomorrow, your gratitude for your life, your trust in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. You might say things like, "As I sleep tonight, my body heals and rejuvenates. My mind processes the day's experiences with wisdom and love. I wake up tomorrow feeling refreshed, grateful, and ready to create another beautiful day." The quality of your sleep is deeply influenced by the thoughts and feelings you carry into your rest time. When you end your day with gratitude, forgiveness, and loving intentions, you're creating the optimal internal environment for your body's natural healing and restoration processes. Your sleep becomes more peaceful, your dreams more positive, and you wake up more refreshed and optimistic. This evening practice of gratitude and release becomes a sacred ritual that honors the day you've lived while preparing you for the gift of a new day ahead. It's a way of completing each day with love and appreciation, regardless of what challenges or successes you experienced. This practice acknowledges that every day offers opportunities for growth, learning, and expressing love, and that you have the wisdom to extract meaning and value from all of your experiences. Creating lasting change in your life requires consistency, patience, and compassion for yourself as you develop new habits of thinking and speaking. The transformation from old patterns of negative self-talk to new patterns of loving, supportive inner dialogue doesn't happen overnight, but it can begin immediately with your very next thought. Research shows that it takes approximately 21 days to begin establishing a new neural pathway in your brain, which is why committing to a 21-day practice can be so powerful for creating sustainable change. Your 21-day journey with conscious, loving self-talk is not about perfection. It's about progress, awareness, and gentle persistence. Some days will feel easier than others. Some mornings you'll wake up feeling inspired and motivated to speak kindly to yourself, while other mornings you might feel resistance or forget your new practice entirely. This is completely normal and part of the natural process of change. The key is to approach yourself with the same compassion you would offer a dear friend who is learning something new. During your first week, your primary focus is simply on awareness. Begin to notice the conversations you have with yourself throughout the day. What tone do you use when speaking to yourself? What kinds of thoughts occupy your mind most frequently? Are your words generally supportive and encouraging, or critical and limiting? This awareness alone, without trying to change anything, is a powerful first step. You might be surprised by patterns you discover, and that's perfectly fine. Awareness is the foundation upon which all positive change is built. In your second week, you can begin gently redirecting your thoughts when you notice them moving in directions that don't serve you. When you catch yourself thinking critical thoughts, you can pause and ask yourself, how can I speak to myself more kindly about this situation? When you notice worry or fear arising, you can consciously choose thoughts that feel more peaceful and trusting. This isn't about fighting against negative thoughts, but about offering yourself alternative ways of thinking that feel better and support your well-being. By your third week, these new patterns of self-talk will start to feel more natural and automatic. You'll find yourself spontaneously choosing kinder words, naturally looking for things to appreciate, and maintaining a more loving internal dialogue throughout your day. This is when you'll likely begin to notice changes in how you feel physically, emotionally, and even in your external circumstances. Your relationships may improve as you become more loving toward yourself. Your health may strengthen as you release stress and worry. Opportunities may begin appearing as your mindset shifts toward possibility and abundance. Throughout this 21-day journey, be patient with yourself when old patterns resurface. Your brain has been thinking in certain ways for many years, and it's natural for familiar thoughts to arise. When this happens, simply notice without judgment and gently redirect your attention to thoughts that feel better. Each time you make this conscious choice, you're strengthening your new neural pathways and weakening the old ones. Keep a simple journal during these 21 days, noting any changes you observe in your mood, your energy levels, your relationships, or your life circumstances. Often the changes are subtle at first, and writing them down helps you recognize the progress you're making. You might notice that you sleep better, that you feel more confident in challenging situations, that you're more patient with others, or that you're more optimistic about your future. Remember that this 21-day period is just the beginning of a lifelong practice of loving yourself through your words and thoughts. After these initial 3 weeks, you'll have established a foundation that you can continue to build upon. You'll have proven to yourself that you have the power to change your internal experience, and you'll have tasted the freedom that comes from being your own loving advocate rather than your own worst critic. As we come to the end of our time together today, I want you to know that you already have everything you need within you to create the healthy, wealthy, and happy life you desire. The words you speak to yourself, the thoughts you choose to think, the love you're willing to offer yourself. These are the most powerful tools for transformation that exist, and they're available to you right now, in this very moment. You are not broken and in need of fixing. You are not lacking and in need of completing. You are a magnificent being who is simply ready to remember your true nature and to align your daily thoughts and words with the love, abundance, and joy that are your birthright. Every challenge you faced, every struggle you've endured, every moment of pain or difficulty has contributed to your wisdom, your compassion, and your capacity to appreciate the beauty and goodness in life. The journey you're beginning today, this commitment to speaking to yourself with love, to choosing thoughts that support your well-being, to creating an internal environment of kindness and encouragement, is one of the most important investments you can make in your life. It will ripple out to affect every relationship you have, every goal you pursue, every dream you dare to nurture. When you love yourself consistently through your words and thoughts, you become a living example of what's possible, inspiring others to treat themselves with greater kindness as well. Trust the process. Even when you can't see immediate results, trust your ability to learn and grow, even when old patterns seem persistent. Trust that the universe is supporting your highest good, even when circumstances feel challenging. And most importantly, trust that you are worthy of all the health, wealth, and happiness your heart desires, simply because you exist, simply because you are you. As you go forward from this moment, carry with you the knowledge that every day is a new opportunity to begin again, to choose love over fear, to speak words that heal rather than harm, to create a life that reflects your highest vision for yourself. You have within you infinite capacity for growth, for joy, for contribution, for love. The words you speak to yourself each day are the key that unlocks this infinite potential. Be patient with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Be loving with yourself. And watch as your life transforms in ways more beautiful than you ever imagined possible. You are ready for this transformation. You are worthy of this transformation. You are this transformation, choosing to express itself through your willingness to love yourself unconditionally, starting right now with your very next thought.